Deshaun Watson will not be facing criminal charges. Deshaun Watson, the grand jury decided no charges will be brought against this man, or no potential criminal charges. He's still got the 22 pending cases going on in regards to the allegations and complaints regarding the 22 civil cases. But this man is not facing criminal charges. What does this mean from a fantasy football perspective? Wow, this is huge news, because this means he's being traded. Teams will be willing to trade for this man right now. This is great news for anybody holding on to Deshaun Watson. This is great news for potentially fantasy football players like Najee Harris if he went to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh said they don't want Deshaun Watson. They don't want Deshaun Watson. But hey, this might change now. You might see a change in opinion there. Watson to Carolina. Watson to he could go a number of places, but Carolina seems to be the early favorite. But this is big news, and this is good. This is good for him, because to not get indicted, it's pretty hard to not get indicted if there's even a sliver of evidence. So this is pretty good news for his civil side as well, because if there wasn't enough evidence for these 10 cases to go criminal, and indicting is not as difficult as it seems. Like, some people make the joke you can indict a ham sandwich. Like, he didn't get indicted. That means that the evidence is not as big as it may be portrayed. So the civil side, I think teams are going to be real comfortable trading for him at this point. To not be indicted was huge. This his whole career was on the line. Deshaun Watson was either going to play football again or not play football again based on this news. So Deshaun Watson not being indicted on criminal charges. No charges will be brought against him criminally. He'll still deal with the 20 to 22 pending cases in the civil track. But that will be a distraction. Teams will be obviously worried a little bit about that. But to actually have this news break is going to trigger a whole bunch of Deshaun Watson news and trade rumors, and so get ready for smoke season to kick right back into gear unless a trade happens like immediately. This is from Adam Schefter. More on Texans Deshaun Watson not facing criminal charges in connection with sexual misconduct allegations. There's more reports kind of filing in, but I thought I'd throw that up there so you could see the source. Everyone's reporting on it at this point in a matter of minutes. So this happened just a little bit ago, but it is hitting all over Twitter. Watson to the Steelers. I don't think the Giants, bro. The Giants aren't an option. First of all, he could shoot that down. He's not going to go to the Giants. Why would he want to go to the Giants? But Pittsburgh, I could see him wanting to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I could see that. I just don't know that the Steelers, maybe they changed their tune and they do want him, but they've reportedly made it pretty clear that they don't want to head in that direction. But that was before the criminal charges were not filed. Now, without this going forward on the criminal track, maybe the Steelers have something different to say. Not to mention, what did Pete Carroll say 6 or 7 days before they traded Russell Wilson? We're not trading Russell Wilson, basically is what he said. So smoke season can go all different ways. The Steelers would be crazy not to pursue Deshaun Watson, put him in that offense. This is exciting news. Like, it's such a delicate topic because there are 22 people saying that this happened and Deshaun Watson saying it didn't happen. And so it's like a touchy subject, because you want to be delicate to potential victims. You want to be delicate to Deshaun Watson, who, if all these allegations are very weak and it is an attorney trying to rile up these individuals in the case of the civil stuff, trying to go after Deshaun for money. It's such a tough thing for us to talk about, as an analyst, because it looks callous to be like, yeah, this is exciting news. We got Deshaun Watson back if there are still potential victims. But then again, you see no criminal charges being brought against him. The evidence apparently is not as strong as it was made to be. It was painted, the picture. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is we're allowed to be excited that Deshaun Watson's playing football again. Doesn't mean that we're saying anything toward what happened or what he did or didn't do or whatever. And I think that this is evidence that what had happened probably, according to at least the jury, the 12 jurors, was more along the lines of like, okay, well, maybe what he did was weird, but was it criminal? No. Was it criminal? No, we don't think so. Therefore, they're not going to go after him from the criminal perspective. Now, he's not out of the woods yet. He's still got the 20 to 22 civil cases. He still has the threat of somebody else coming forward at some point or something because, you know, there apparently were more people that did not want to come forward when this all happened. But for right now, I mean, you got to say this is a big win for Deshaun Watson. This is a big win for Deshaun Watson owners. And this is a big win for fantasy football because you get a big signal caller back on the field. And yeah, he's had a year off and that does suck. But I mean, man, he's so talented. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think he walks right in and starts dominating and playing good football. It depends where he goes. I don't think he'll okay a trade anywhere that's not potent and giving him a whole bunch of amazing fantasy football production and ability to win games and make the playoffs. Carolina is iffy to me because I think if they get Watson, they're a whole different team. So it's kind of hard to break that down. Like, do I think that in Carolina they're a deep playoff winning team? Tough to say. A lot of people say in Seattle, anything's possible. Deshaun Watson just beat this potential criminal charges. Russell Wilson traded to Denver. This is an offseason to be remembered. This is craziness. There's so much stuff here that has been happening and unfolding that feels so unbelievable. And so I'm not going to say that he can't go to Seattle, but that would be ridiculous. They're releasing people, trading away. Like, it doesn't feel... They're in total blow-up rebuild mode. I don't see Watson looking at that situation going, I want to go there. But if he did go to Seattle, he would help rebuild it pretty quickly. But would they be a NFC Championship caliber team? I don't know about that. Especially, especially in the NFC West. Especially in the NFC, especially in the West, but especially in the NFC West, you're talking about the Cardinals. If Kyler does get back on track, you're talking about the Niners. You're talking about the Rams, and then you've got the Seattle Seahawks who are in blow up mode, and then they get Deshaun Watson. Is that enough to put them over the top? It's tough to make the playoffs in a division where 3 of the teams in the NFC West went to the playoffs. Like, literally, we grabbed 2 of the wild card seeds and spots. So it was, the Niners grabbed a spot, the Cardinals grabbed a spot, and then the Rams took the division. So it's like 3 teams make the playoffs from the wild card perspective, and you're going to go ahead and drop into the NFC West. Tough to imagine. And they're in blow-up rebuild mode. I just don't see it. I don't know why anybody's expecting Seattle to be the main place to go. I know some of the reports are talking about it, so that's why it's news. But I just can't see it. But, man, after today, after the Russell Wilson trade, let's stop saying things with absolutes. Because we don't know. No one knows it's smoke season. But I love it. Let's see what you guys are all saying in the chat. First one in the building was Jeb. Jeb's been first in the building for about 3 or 4 or 5 shows in a row. So who's going to step up and take Jeb's title? He's like 5 in a row. Jeb, congratulations, Jeb. You have been first in the building for quite some time now, Jeb. This is your title that someone's going to have to rip from your lifeless fingers, I imagine. Tyler, second in the building. Slayer, third. Sonny, then Uzi, then Trevor, then Blackbeard, and so on and so on and so on. 100 of you in here, please hit the thumbs up and show the channel some love. Your man Smitty literally races to the command center here at Smitty1.com studios, and as soon as news breaks on this free agency stuff, I go live. As soon as it breaks, I go live. That's what I'm here for. I work for you. All I ask is that you thumb up the video. You smash it. You annihilate the thumb up button. You just make that thumb up button yours. Okay? And pulverize it. And I ask you to leave comments and keep this channel moving in the right direction, because we're taking over 2022 fantasy football, baby. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Feet wiped, says Baked In Boys. He hit the thumbs up button. Wipe your feet at the door. Punch it. Now, I'll show you the board. I wrote it on the board. There it is. Watson not facing criminal charges. Wrote it on the board. This is again at the risk. I'm not trying to, at the risk of sounding callous about the still pending 22 cases and the potential, truth that may lie within all of this. There still could be some truth and untruth. I'm not trying to suggest that there aren't still potential victims. You got to dance around this topic like on eggshells. It's crazy. But that aside, acknowledging that, understanding that, having compassion for that, it's exciting to get our boy Deshaun Watson back on the field to play football from a football perspective. Our boy Deshaun Watson, and man, I mean, it's go time. This devalues Jimmy G a little bit. This devalues Trubisky a little bit. This devalues. I mean, those are the main guys, like Winston a little bit, because now one of these teams that was a potential suitor for Jimmy G, one of these teams that was a potential suitor for Winston, is now off the board because they're going to go after Deshaun Watson. Wouldn't it shock me if we had a trade before Monday, before the end of Monday? It wouldn't. Steelers wouldn't count out. Yeah, I'm not counting out the Steelers. I know the Steelers said we're not doing it. We're not going after him, but that was before this. I mean, Pete Carroll literally said it was within a week. We're not trading Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was traded. Okay? So I don't buy that Pittsburgh Steelers aren't interested. I think they weren't interested. I think I could easily see them coming out and saying, at the time we weren't. Now that this, stuff's been cleared up a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and punch the button and hit accept. I mean, if here's the thing that I don't understand. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? You're the Pittsburgh Steelers. You get Deshaun Watson, you are a top 6 team in the NFL. You are a top 6 team in the NFL. You get Deshaun Watson, you are now in the mix for being a top 6 team in the entire National Football League, because you've got Najee Harris, you've got Deontay Johnson, You've got motion detected at the front. Who's at my front door right now? Ziggy, show me the front door. Okay. What is this? The mailman. What's the mailman doing here this early at 3:20 p.m.? He comes like at 6. Ziggy off. Oh, actually, let's ask Ziggy. Ziggy, is Deshaun Watson facing criminal charges? Here you go. Ziggy, is Deshaun Watson facing criminal charges?
I don't know that.
Ziggy, you know nothing.
I'm happy to hear how I can improve.
Yeah.
You can always say,
Ziggy,
feedback.
Ziggy off. I swear this guy's Ziggy. Leave me some voicemails, guys. Voicemails on Instagram right now.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
Drop me a voicemail. Do it live. Take a shot at Watson. Come on, Steelers. Ziggy is bootleg Alexa. Yeah, he's a Walmart Alexa. Ziggy, you're trash.
I'm always interested to hear how I can improve.
Yeah, he's not. Hey, Ziggy. Ziggy, where will Deshaun Watson play football in 2022?
Here's something I found on the web. According to wikipedia.org, the Kansas City Chiefs signed Watson to a 1-year deal on February 4th, 2022.
Oh, Sean Watson. Ziggy off. Worthless. Devin says, honestly, we aren't blowing.
Quite sure how to help.
Ziggy, shut up. Honestly, we aren't blown up. Got rid of Wilson and Wagner. I mean, you're pretty blown up, bro. You're pretty blown up. Let's be honest. I mean, Seattle gets Watson. You're a little less blown up. I agree. Like you're back on track. But this is a full, like, you don't get rid of Russell Wilson without a guarantee that you're getting Deshaun Watson. Like, you have no guarantees you're getting Deshaun Watson. Zero. So you're running the risk of totally not having a quarterback heading into 2022. If you're not in blow-up mode or rebuild mode, you don't take that chance. You only get rid of Russell Wilson if you are, in fact, replacing him. And right now, you're going to be hard-pressed to win that battle. It's not like going to be a cakewalk. There are going to be other teams that are in a bidding war, a race to get Deshaun Watson. So, in my opinion, I think it's almost a long shot for the Seahawks to get Deshaun Watson because he would have to want to go there. DK's there. Maybe he's excited about that. You know, Lockett, if you keep Lockett, he's there. Bring in Penny. Bring back Penny. I mean, there is some talent. Like, I won't lie. Seattle gets Watson. We're talking about a whole different team. But I just wonder if I wonder if that's where he wants to go. So that's tough. But like to be fair and honest, you get Deshaun Watson, you're a different team. So like we got to reevaluate where the Seahawks kind of rank. Because DK Watson would be pretty fun. That would be pretty fun to watch. Let's be honest. But Pittsburgh, Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Freiermuth. I mean, this kid Watson's never seen those kind of weapons. He's done everything by himself for a very long time. Gonna be busy for Watson. A team should snipe Jimmy. No. I don't know. I mean, he will get picked up. Jimmy will be playing somewhere, but I don't agree that a team should be starting Jimmy. I don't know. I'd have to see if Jimmy gets healthy. I know he's going to land somewhere. I'm just saying, Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy G is a top. He's a bottom 5, bottom 6 quarterback. De Jesus wants to know why don't you wait until 7 p.m. for this? What? Not go live when news breaks? De Jesus. Where's my take a lap button when you need it? I appreciate you. I do appreciate you, but
Take a look.
you basically, De Jesus, just told me to not bring you live breaking news when it happens. You basically were begging me right now to wait another hour and a half to bring you this news. And if you think I'm not going live at 7 p.m. Eastern for the normal show, you got another thing coming because I am. This is how I roll. Would you prefer me not to go live right now, De Jesus? Is that what you're saying? You would prefer me to just go live at 6? Am I intruding on your day? Hey, De Jesus? Am I intruding on your day? I'm sorry. I apologize for going live twice today. I'm just trying to bring you the best fantasy football news immediately. I appreciate you, though. I want you to know that. Brofist. Giants. Why is everybody saying the Giants? I mean, the offensive line, no wide receivers. I know Kadarius Toney is kind of an attractive option. Like, he's got upside, but this is not a place where you want Deshaun Watson to go, in my opinion. The Giants aren't ready to win right now. Barkley has such a tough time staying healthy. It's kind of intriguing to think about Barkley and Watson and what Barkley could do with Watson, you know, if he stayed healthy. Also, Dable with how he does with quarterbacks, but Watson doesn't really need any work. You know, it's like Dable's going to bring the best. Watson's ready to roll. He's ready to roll. What's his contract look like? $35 million guaranteed, I believe, this year. So that the reason we know that he's getting traded is because the Houston Texans, if he was suspended by the NFL, and he still could face some kind of disciplinary action. Let's just be frank about that. Like, we gotta. I should have let off with that, because I think a lot of people that may have heard me speak so excitedly about him being back for fantasy football. The league could still do something. They can't put him on the exempt list and for civil charges or civil complaints or civil issues, but they could still do some kind of disciplinary action. So could he miss 3 or 4 or 5 games? That is a risk that a team acquiring him is going to take. We'll have to see how that goes on. That's what a lot of people are reporting. Adam Schefter, I believe, reported that earlier today. There's still potential for suspension based on all that's been going on, because the NFL does that. Okay, whether it's right or wrong, that's irrelevant. It's a good topic to have, or debate to have. Like, should the NFL be doing this and that? Especially when he gets off on criminal charges on this. There's clearly no criminal charges should be taken as, okay, maybe there's not a lot of merit to anything going on. And in civil, as we talked about yesterday, the burden of proof is different in civil. It's a lot more. Sometimes civil, you settle when even there's nothing necessarily going on because you want it to go away or whatever. Some of these athletes and big name people will settle on something like that to make it go away. So even settling is not necessarily an admission of guilt in civil court. But yeah, I mean, he's getting traded. The reason he's getting traded is Deshaun Watson's getting paid $35 million. So if the Houston Texans don't want this man on the field, which is evident by the fact that they sat him in 2021 and still paid him $10 million to sit the bench, that tells me that they don't want to play him. And if the Texans don't want to play him, they've been out to ruin this guy from the beginning. They have. The owner does not like Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. That's my opinion. It's not fact, but it's my opinion, and I think a lot of people agree with me. He appears to be wanting to, like, destroy this man. And they sat him for $10 million, okay, in 2021, and they don't want to play him. They want to trade him, and they couldn't trade him until the criminal stuff cleared up. Now Deshaun Watson is not facing criminal charges. Now Deshaun Watson it's open season to trade for this man. Everybody that needs a quarterback is going to be in the game. Even, I think, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who said that they weren't interested. Maybe they were putting on a face because they didn't want sponsors or whoever to know that they were interested in somebody facing criminal charges. Well, guess what? He's not facing criminal charges anymore. Maybe they didn't want Deshaun Watson, the man facing potential criminal charges, but maybe they want Deshaun Watson, who's now not facing criminal charges. And the bottom line is, where did that report even come from? It was not something that I think was corroborated or was cemented in information. It was just kind of in the smoke season, in the middle of smoke season. Who knows? Terry doesn't like Watson. I mean, I understand Terry. I respect anybody's opinion on the matter, honestly. I think nobody should judge anybody for their opinion on the matter because nothing's been proven in a court of law. Every single individual in this country deserves to be innocent until proven guilty. Are there reasons to worry from a fantasy perspective when someone's not yet been proven guilty, but there's a lot of negativity around? Yeah, of course. Like, we bring that angle to the table, but in terms of, like, convicting him, I mean, there's no way anybody should be a picture should be painted about anybody until they've been proven guilty. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. I respect the opinion, though. He turned down Philly and Carolina already. I don't know why I mean, Carolina's intriguing, but could Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? You know, like, it's a whole different team when he goes down. So I'm not so huge on the Carolina decision. I mean, let's see. The teams that need quarterbacks, we got it right here on the board. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans and Godwin, even though Godwin's recovering from an ACL tear. Mike Evans and Godwin. I mean, let's rank them right now. What are the most potent from a fantasy perspective? Indy would be unbelievable. Like, they could bring in a wide receiver, but imagine Jonathan Taylor. New Orleans, I'm not banking on Mike Thomas. Everybody could get excited about New Orleans, not me. Number 1 is Pittsburgh. That's from a fantasy perspective. Number 1's Pittsburgh. Number 2 probably is Tampa Bay because of the weapons that he'll have there. 3 would probably be Indy. And, honestly, Seattle's a little high. Like, looking at this list, Seattle's a little higher than Detroit. I think higher than New Orleans. I suppose with Kamara, if Kamara is playing, I like New Orleans at 4 or 3. But because we don't know what's up with Kamara, and he could be out for half of a season. But the rate we're going, I don't know if he will. I don't know if he will. Like, everything's shocking right now. So shocking would be Kamara gets away with it. That situation. Carolina's interesting if McCaffrey stayed healthy. Seattle's interesting, even though they do feel like they blew up the team a little bit. They could recover and redirect and go DK, Lockett. I mean, that's not bad. I'd probably say, I'm not too sure on this right here. I'd probably say, because it's McCaffrey, I'd probably say these are tied for 4th. And then these are tied for 5th. That would be my ranking from a fantasy perspective, my wish list, if you will. My wish list. Because Pittsburgh does a couple things. Pittsburgh to me gives so much value to Najee Harris. So much value. Because Najee Harris right now, what people don't understand about Najee Harris, he did so much with so little. This guy's averaging low yards per carry, offensive line problems, right? And I know that the casual will come in here. The casual person will come in here and say,
Schmitty, you don't want him to go to Pittsburgh. They've got a horrible offensive line.
Just that's the casual that comes in. Now, granted, you'd have to give up a lot of draft capital to get Watson, so you are going to lose some of that ability to fix the offensive line inside the NFL draft, but you still have free agency. Not to mention, you're going to be able to have a much better offensive line the moment Watson steps onto the field, because you can't contain this man the same way you did Big Ben. Okay? It's a lot easier to know where Big Ben's going to be. Okay? To know where Big Ben's going to be. It's a lot easier. But when Watson's on the field, you can't rush the same amount of people. You got to have somebody kind of constantly monitoring where he's going to be. And so if Watson's running around all over the place, you're going to have more room. Everybody's going to be spread out just a little bit more. People will be a tiny bit more wide open. There will be a bigger gap that this man Najee Harris can run through because the defense will be slightly spread out. Okay? You're not rushing the same amount of people constantly. Watson's going to improve the offensive line production immediately. Just being on the roster, the offensive line production is better out the gate. Not to mention they have all the free agency, and any picks they don't trade for Watson, they will be able to use on offensive line. So I don't want to hear the offensive line's unfixable. It's ridiculous. That's the only problem in Pittsburgh. There's one problem in Pittsburgh. And for everybody that says the offensive line's a problem, well, when you go to these other teams right here, and you've got Tampa Bay, well, you've got problems there too. You go to Indy, there's not as good a wide receiver crew. You go to Carolina, you've got DJ Moore. Granted, you have McCaffrey, but he's always hurt. You go to Seattle, there's holes there all over the place. Like, you can say Pittsburgh's got a problem all you want. Okay, but you're talking about one isolated problem that you got all offseason to fix. So stop with the Pittsburgh offensive line argument. It's not a good argument at all. You put Deshaun Watson in Pittsburgh, and let's pretend you don't touch the offensive line. You just keep it the same. Let's say you're a moron, and you keep it the same. You don't even try and improve it. Let's say you're a moron, and you don't try and improve it. Watson still goes off. Najee Harris still goes off because the presence of Watson spreads everything out. The offensive line will be immediately that much better. Even if it's got problems, it's still a ton better the moment Watson steps on the field. So I don't want to hear the offensive line. Najee Harris could score literally Even with Watson taking some touchdowns, he's a little bit of a vulture type quarterback. He can run him in. I get that. But Najee Harris, because the ball's moving down the field, if Watson's in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's already shot down the idea reportedly, but we don't necessarily believe that smoke. I don't buy into that smoke yet. If this ball's being moved down the field on the regular, guess what? Najee Harris is in scoring position more often. When Najee Harris is in scoring position more often, guess what this playmaker is going to do? Score touchdowns. Okay? He pulls in a football as good as anybody in the NFL from a receiving perspective. He runs the football as good as anybody in the NFL between the tackles. He's elusive. He breaks tackles. He just has been hit at the line of scrimmage his entire rookie season and still ended up dropping beast-like numbers for a rookie running back that had nowhere to run all season long. I don't think people understand how good of a year Najee Harris would have had he had a good offensive line. I don't think people realize what he did with such a bad situation. I don't think people realize how good he can be and that his ceiling is kind of untapped. That Najee Harris with a good offensive line production-wise, I don't think people understand that Najee Harris could be the easy number one overall running back. Like he could be. You put Watson under center in Pittsburgh, Najee Harris could easily be the number one overall running back in fantasy football 2022. Easily. That's not even like I'm not even trying to be bold there. I feel like that's common sense. Yet it's going to look bold and sound bold to a lot of people that want to hate on Najee. They've digged their heels in already on Najee and saying Najee's not that good. People that do that, it's psychology, guys. It's why I bring psychology to the show. It's called sunk cost fallacy or just bias or whatever. There's so many different levels and different terms and different things of psychology you can bring to the table here, but it's throwing more good after bad. You've already said Najee Harris is a bust. Oh, he's a bust. He doesn't average good yards per carry. He's not efficient. He got overworked last year, Smitty. And then they get Watson, a smart, an analyst or a fantasy owner that's smart and willing to adapt to the news that comes in and not dig their heels in and continue to crank out the same garbage is going to say, hey, I'm getting the megaphone ready, is going to say, hey, you know what? Things have changed. You know, Najee Harris has a great situation. Maybe I misjudged Najee Harris with bad offensive line production. But you know what the naysayer of Najee Harris, the hater of Najee Harris is going to do? Dig their heels in. Sunk cost fallacy.
You know what? I've already said it this long, Smitty. I'm going to continue to pile it on. Najee Harris isn't going to be good with Deshaun Watson under center, Smitty.
That's what the person that has been hating on Najee's probably going to say. I'm probably going to see about 4 or 5 comments once this video ends about somebody saying Najee Harris has been overworked. Najee Harris, as a rookie, one season, you're ready to write him off. One season, he's overworked. One season, Smitty, he won't last. Najee Harris is special. Najee Harris with Deshaun Watson would be a, God, how many, what was his yardage? Let's bring up his stats from last year. Let's look at these stats. Let's try and predict what Najee Harris could do with Deshaun Watson. And again, this knowing that we have a quarterback that could vulture a little bit, that is true. But I would say anything that you lose in terms of vulture touchdowns to the man named Deshaun Watson, you're going to probably get back twofold in terms of just being in good field position, being in the red zone more often. Here are Najee Harris, and let me put Najee Harris on screen while we talk about him, so that any replay value people know exactly what we're talking about here. So Najee Harris right here. This is the man's stats from 2021. 307 rushing attempts. He didn't hit the dangerous 371 mark. Okay, there's a mark called 371. It's called the 371 curse or the 371 whatever. It's a curse. You hit 371 carries, it does something to your body. You end up being kind of irrelevant the next couple of years, if not the rest of your career. It's been broken before. It's been broken before. It's been breached, and a running back still done well. But for a long time, if you hit 371, you were done. You were done. He didn't breach anything like that. 307's a lot. It's a lot. And he got targeted 94 times, and he had 74 receptions. What are you Najee Harris doubters even talking about? How do you have a leg to stand on? The man caught 74 footballs for 467 and 3 receiving touchdowns. He was a PPR monster. A PPR monster. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He didn't cross the 371 threshold. He had 307. He had 1,200 yards. He averaged a pedestrian 3.9, which was not his fault. Stop blaming him. Stop blaming him. This guy will average 4.4, 4.6, 4.7 yards per carry. 4.6, 4.7, even 8 yards per carry under the command, if the offense is under the command of Deshaun Watson. Absolutely unbelievable PPR, yards per carry production coming down the way for this man, Najee Harris. If Deshaun Watson's in Pittsburgh. We're making a plea to Tomlin right now to reconsider if, in fact, the report is true. Okay? Najee Harris, let's say, gets 1,400 rushing yards in 20. Let's say he gets 310 carries. We'll keep it right around the same. 310 times 310 times 4.5 yards per carry. $1,395, exactly what I said. 1,400 yards. 1,400 yards for Najee Harris on the ground. So let's say that's what he has rushing. Touchdowns on the ground, even with Deshaun Watson potentially vulturing some scores. Let's say he has 10 rushing touchdowns. Let's say he has, so we'll put that there. Let's say he has 75 receptions. He keeps it right around the same. 75 receptions for, I would venture to say, more yards per carry, more wiggle room. We'll call it 5. We'll call it 5 bills. 75, 500 yards, and 4 TDs receiving. That is a stat line I believe Deshaun Watson would allow Najee Harris to produce in 2022 fantasy football. 1,400 rushing yards, 500 receiving, 1,900 total yards, 14. That's even low. Like, let's put it at 12. Let's put it at 12 rushing TDs. At least. I see him scoring 16 TD, 15 plus TDs easy. 1,400 rushing, 500 receiving, 75 receptions. That's if he doesn't take a next level step. That's just because the yards per carry go up. I didn't even bump anything yet. Really, I bumped his receiving touchdowns one. I bumped his rushing touchdowns a few. Easily could do that. Super chats. I'm sorry. I'll look for it, Sonny. I'll look for it right now. My bad. Sonny dropped a super chat right now. Thank you, Sonny. Dark horse team Raiders. Carr and Watson switch spots. Carr going to his big bros team. Watson reunites with Renfro from Clemson, says Sonny. The only thing that would make me, and I'm not one that is an advocate of this type of thinking, but the Raiders are in a tough spot because they play in a division where they almost have no shot to make the playoffs. They play in a conference that have no shot to make the playoffs. I don't know that that's going to be the best location for him. He might be up for the challenge. I personally would never think of it that way, but I know a lot of people suggest that people do. And when you're moving teams, maybe you consider it a little more than you would if you were. I don't know, because he's had a lot to endure. You got to think this man wants to make sure this next stop is fantastic. You know what I mean? He's not going to try and mess this one up. He wants to make sure that he picks just the right location because This is a place he needs to go to and succeed right away. He's been out of football for a while. Steelers got Rudolph. Mark Cleveland says, I forgot, Mark. We got another super chat here. Sonny, I appreciate that super chat. We had a super chat earlier from Devin. I appreciate that super chat, Devin. And then Scooby. I'm sorry, Scooby-Doo. I didn't see this earlier. Are you still here, pal? Deshaun is a New York Giant. Thank you for that super chat. Any other super chats that I miss? I apologize for not seeing that earlier, Scooby-Doo. I'm going to make sure I star these to thank you guys at the end of the show, give you a proper shout out and send off when we do eventually end the live stream. I'm not ending it yet. We're still getting going. We're talking about landing spots. We've only talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers landing spot. We haven't even got into Carolina. We haven't got into Indianapolis. Najee Harris to the moon. If Deshaun Watson lands in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, mark it down. Mark it down. Now, what if Najee Harris goes to... That's if he goes to Pittsburgh. What if he goes to Tampa Bay? Let's say he goes to Tampa Bay. How are we feeling about Deshaun Watson in Tampa Bay? Did I say Najee? I meant to say Deshaun Watson. How we feel about Deshaun Watson in Tampa Bay? Do we feel like Evans would be what, top 6 to 10? Do we feel like Godwin would have a much better recovery? Do we feel like the Bucs would even be a contender? Do we feel like they've been blown up too much? Do we feel like they have the ability to rebuild and get back on track? I mean, they still got a lot of talent. Maybe things felt a little worse than because they lost Brady and they felt like they fell apart. But if they get Watson, do they quickly rebuild this thing back into a Super Bowl contending team? I wouldn't say it's a horrible location. I'd say Watson has a shot of taking the Tampa Bay Bucs. And the crazy part is this. If he lands in... Listen to me. If Deshaun Watson lands in Tampa, though, and Brady decides to come back, they will trade his rights. Because they wouldn't replace Watson with Brady. They'd be in motion with something. They're not going to just take him off the roster. He might even not choose the Bucs because he'd be worried about what if Brady wants to come back. That might come into play and have him say no. He might shoot down the Bucs because he does have a say on where he goes. So that might deter him. But let's just say he does go to the Bucs and Brady comes back. Guess what? They're trading him. And Brady could come back mid-season. Let's say an injury happens. God forbid, somebody goes down. I'm not going to say who, but somebody goes down, and all of a sudden Tom Brady's like, you know what? I could go walk in and win a Super Bowl. He could come back. The Bucs could say, we'll trade his rights. We've got Deshaun Watson. So very interesting to think about Tampa Bay. I don't know that it's probably my second or third choice. Maybe I would like Indy. Earlier I put Tampa Bay as a second spot. Maybe I do like Indy more. I mean, Tampa Bay is interesting, and from a fantasy perspective, it is pretty solid. But I think I do like Indy a tad bit more. I don't know. Watson's one of those rare quarterbacks that he's so good. He's so good, all on his own. That, and I'm not saying Michael Pittman's not good. I'm not saying they wouldn't bring in a wide receiver too. They definitely would. Maybe they bring in Allen Robinson. Maybe they bring in Amari Cooper. Like Amari Cooper should get cut by the Cowboys. He probably will. And what if Indy? I don't know what their cap situation looks like. If anybody's got the cap situation for Indy, let me know. But look at the Green Bay Packers. They were 30-something million over the cap, and they're signing Aaron Rodgers to a $200 million deal. So don't tell me the Colts can't figure out a way to sign Amari Cooper. Okay, they bring in Watson, who's getting a $35 million deal. Then they'd have to bring in Cooper. That would be a lot of money. But don't tell me that a team can't work it out, because a team with $30 million over the cap is signing a $200 million deal with Aaron Rodgers. So anything can happen with the cap. Cooper is going to get traded. I don't know. He might, Sonny, but he could be like Wentz. Wentz was supposed to get released, and talking about that triggered a team to take action before he was cut. So you're not wrong. It could trigger that. The talking about cutting Cooper could trigger a trade, but you think you would probably hear something pretty solid by now, and we're not. So Indy was Indy's. We're just talking about landing spots that we prefer. Indy would be amazing. Colts are mid coming from a fan. You really Bucks are going to be like, oh, y'all lost y'all's QB. Let me pull this on screen. And our Super Bowl stacked here. Take Brady. I don't know if you're responding to somebody else's comment. Okay, so I'm just ranking my favorite landing spots of the teams that need quarterbacks. So we got Indy. Indy is what we're talking about right now. I know it's not super likely, but we're just breaking it down. JT to the moon. I understand we got a little vulture action with the touchdowns from Deshaun, but JT breaks off so many long runs, and because the Indianapolis Colts are not right now, we're projecting what, Jimmy G or Trubisky or a rookie or someone like that. They're not moving the football down the field as often as they are with Deshaun Watson. So while you're going to say, oh, I don't want vulture touchdowns, but like, would you rather have no goal line opportunities at all? Would you rather have the Colts not even in field goal range, let alone touchdown range at all, nowhere near the red zone? You want a quarterback, so you're fine with the vulturing at this point. And plus, he's probably still going to score 12 to 15 touchdowns on the ground, Jonathan Taylor, even with Deshaun Watson there. He'd probably throw to him a lot. It'd be pretty good. But yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I understand that the in-division trades are not very likely. Okay, so we'll pretty much move on from the Colts, but they would be such a fun spot just to watch. It would. Let's see here. Carolina. Let's break down Carolina because we haven't yet. We briefly talked about Carolina. Carolina would be interesting. So you have DJ Moore. DJ Moore probably becomes a top 15 wide receiver lock, I would say. I'm not going to say he goes into like 6 or 7 spot for me. Like, I'm not going to vault DJ Moore up to compete with some of the top wide receivers in the league just because he gets Deshaun Watson. I think it locks him into top 15 wide receiver consideration with potential to be top 10-ish. So, yeah, we'll go over to New Orleans next. So, I'm going to say Carolina. Carolina's an interesting spot. They feel like one of the more likely based on the news reports right now. And he'd be productive. Like Watson, like I said earlier, Watson's one of those guys that he can do a lot on his own. It would be nice to see him have 2 amazing wide receivers. It would be nice to see him have Deontay and Claypool and Freiermuth and Najee Harris. I don't even know what we'd be looking at with Deshaun Watson's numbers at that point. Like, really, that's why Pittsburgh is the number 1 spot. I don't understand why people don't feel that Pittsburgh is the number 1 spot. But Carolina, he's so good at doing things on his own, and he wouldn't have to do them on his own. DJ Moore's good, and McCaffrey, if he's healthy, is the best player, the best running back, or one of the best running backs, top 5 running back in football, even if he's injured and dropping off a little, if he's healthy. But I would say this is a really good spot for him. It's not the best spot. Pittsburgh's the best, but this would be, you could tie this for second place landing spot. Carolina can definitely be argued. The next spot will be New Orleans. New Orleans is interesting. If Mike Thomas is healthy, which we don't know if he's going to be healthy, then it's a phenomenal spot. Like, let's be honest. If Kamara's on the field and Mike Thomas is healthy, phenomenal spot. And as someone alluded to, I mean, you could definitely see that working out of both of them on the field. You could see Sean Payton potentially being tempted to come. Like, I mean, I would like New Orleans, but I just don't know if I believe Mike Thomas is going to be the same guy ever again. I don't know. Hopefully he will be. I'm not going to rule that out. Look, Deshaun Watson beat criminal charges. Russell Wilson was traded to the Broncos. Aaron Rodgers, who refused to even have another year on his contract more than he did last offseason, went back to Green Bay. This has been like the unthinkable unraveling of smoke season. It's been pretty crazy. So New Orleans, it wouldn't shock me. New Orleans and Carolina feel like they're pretty good bets to be hardcore in the running. I don't know if Watson wants to go to New Orleans. I imagine he would, but it really depends on if Mike Thomas is healthy. You know, like I wouldn't want to go there if I didn't know if Mike Thomas was going to be able to catch footballs and be the same. I don't trust Mike Thomas right now. I don't know who else does in here. I don't trust Mike Thomas. We also got to look at what the draft capital would need to be to acquire him, and if New Orleans can. What are the draft picks that these teams have? Let's pull up the draft order for this year at least, so we know who's got a first rounder this year or who's got multiple. So, let's see. Carolina's got that 6th pick, which is going to be really, really good for this for being in the running for the Watson sweepstakes. The number 6 pick is really good. Let's see. There's been rumors Minnesota, but they'd have to get rid of Kirk Cousins, and he's getting paid, I think, $45 million guaranteed. So what team's going to take Kirk Cousins for $45 million? I mean, maybe the Colts would. I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's possible. We're in smoke season. Anything can happen. So Minnesota would have to have something lined up, ready to go to pull the trigger on regarding Cousins in order to then make a deal and acquire Deshaun Watson. But can you you know what? Let me rephrase. I want Pittsburgh, but Minnesota might be better. I don't think it's likely, but if it was in Minnesota, you're talking about Justin Jefferson having a day. Every day. Every single day would be JJ Day. Every single day would be Justin Jefferson Day if he landed in Minnesota. But again, very, very complex. A lot of moving parts. $45 million quarterback in Kirk Cousins. I can't imagine anybody wanting at that price tag. But this is the NFL, and this is a year where the unthinkable is happening. So Minnesota's got the 12 pick. Philly, there's been some talks about Philly. Philly's got 2 first-rounders. Philly's got the 15 and the 16 overall. I don't know, people. They don't believe in Hurts at all. And you know what? Maybe they could send Jalen Hurts to Indy. Maybe they could send Jalen Hurts to Detroit. Maybe they could send Jalen Hurts to New Orleans. Jalen Hurts could be moved. I think they can move on from Jalen Hurts pretty easily. And this might be one of those things like the Cardinals did when they wanted to move on from Rosen. They didn't worry about moving Rosen ahead of time. They said, you know what? We don't believe in him. And I believe in Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I want him out of Philly. I want him to go to a place where he can have a shot. He can have a real shot with a coaching staff that believes in him. If Watson went to Philly, and Larry says he already stated he doesn't want to, but we're working out all the options, and maybe he changes his mind. Maybe that wasn't an accurate report. You know what I mean? We're in smoke season, Larry. We don't really know what's real. Like, you think Watson's really out there talking about that? He's focused on his court thing. Like, who reported it, Larry? Who got it from who? Is it a legit report? I'm not really buying any of these little, he already shot down this, or the Steelers are completely out of the Deshaun Watson game. I'm not buying any of it. Pete Carroll said he wasn't trading Russell Wilson literally less than a week before he traded him. So we're definitely in smoke season. So I hear what you're saying, and you're correct. I've heard that, but I just don't know that I buy it. So Jalen Hurts could be traded after the fact. They wouldn't worry about that. They wouldn't even care if it devalued his trade value a little bit because people knew that they had to get rid of him. They'd probably just be like, we don't care. Let's get Deshaun Watson. They got the 15 and 16 overall. Maybe you just have to give up the 2 picks. The Texans have demanded 3 first-rounders, but when you're talking about 2 middle-round picks like 15 and 16, that could talk. And maybe they give up just one, and then they give up a future first, and they give up a second. Who knows? But Philly could don't just think because you might like Hurts, and not a lot of people like Hurts. Well, I like Hurts. I think he's got potential. But even if you like Hurts, they don't. They've been trying to replace him since the moment he stepped into that locker room. So Minnesota will be phenomenal. Philly's definitely a possibility. Talked about Philly, Minnesota. I'm going to put them all on the screen now. Pittsburgh, Indy, we're going to leave off as a realistic landing spot, but we did break it down anyway. Tampa Bay, Carolina, Seattle, so here's the draft order. Here are the potential landing spots for Deshaun Watson. What am I missing? I got Seattle, Carolina. I got Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Philly. And I know, again, Pittsburgh said they're not in. I don't, and I know he doesn't want to go to Philly, some say, but I don't buy those reports. New Orleans. Oh, we didn't put New Orleans on here. New Orleans, definitely a dark horse for sure. What am I missing? I think that's it. I think that's about it. Flores and Tomlin. What about it? Okay, do a Kyler rant. Not right now, man. Kyler Murray's not worth the time right now. Kyler Murray's, the more quarterbacks that move and get paid, the more he's getting upset. The more he's getting really angry inside, I think. He did put the Cardinals back on a social media, so we'll see if that is a changing of his tune or if that's just something that he was instructed to do and he's just doing it. $29 million in cap space the Steelers have, so they can, and cap space it's important to have that. It's definitely good, but it doesn't really matter. Look at the Green Bay Packers, 30 to 40 million over the cap, and they're giving Rodgers 200 million. I know this live stream about Watson, but I love to see Minshew start somewhere. You could break up other stuff, pal. It's okay. All right, let's go to the voicemails. Let's see what you guys got for me today. Load me up, voicemail group.
Hey, Smitty, it's Tariq. Happy Friday. Hope everything's going well. I just got breaking alert that Deshaun Watson will not face any criminal charges. So how's his outlook going into the 2022 season? Any suitors for him, you think? Maybe the Panthers or the Pittsburgh Steelers or anyone else?
Tariq, you always ask great questions, but definitely you ask a question that I'm for sure going to hit at the top. So, yeah, give me something a little different on that because we definitely hit that already. Appreciate you, Tariq. You always ask great questions. You're like right on it. But I definitely attack almost your question at the top of every show.
Hey, what's up, Smitty? Absolutely huge news with Deshaun. If he ends up going to the Panthers in like a CMC type style trade, how does that help Chuba Hubbard's value overall, just assuming he's the running back left?
Well, I mean, you're assuming he's the running back left. That's a big assumption to make. So I don't really know how to answer that question, buddy, other than to say, like, he's not the starting running back, so I'm not thinking about Chuba Hubbard right now. I did like Chuba Hubbard coming out of college, but he's not looking at, like, oh, he's the starting running back right now. Not to mention, even if Christian McCaffrey was traded, let's say, they still could draft a rookie. You know, they could bring in James Cook, and he could be the starting running back. They could have an open competition. Hubbard could be like a change of pace role or something. Like, I don't know that Hubbard's, like, locked in if there is a Christian McCaffrey trade, but as of right now, McCaffrey's on the roster, and it doesn't sound like he's going to be traded, and his contract's kind of big, bro. It would be special circumstances, I suppose it's possible, where he could go somewhere. Like people say San Francisco, not going to happen, I don't think. Again, this offseason's been crazy. Anything can happen, but I don't really see it. I don't see Chuba Hubbard as anything super special. Hit me with another voicemail in the voicemail group. I'm going to try and find some of the random voicemails. Here's one from Josiah.
Hey, Smitty, do you think if the Panthers traded for Deshaun Watson, that they would be a top team in the NFC? I feel like they would. The only thing we were missing last year was a quarterback. I mean, our defense wasn't really that bad. We just didn't have any offense. offense, and it just put a lot of pressure on the defense. And we got a really young team with a lot of young players. So I think if we get him, we'll be right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Hey, Smitty, do you think if the Panthers traded for Deshaun Watson?
I think we talked about the Panthers already. I think if Christian McCaffrey were to stay healthy, if he was to stay healthy, then you'd be looking at a really, really big year out of Deshaun and the Carolina Panthers. But are there a couple better locations, in my opinion, from a potential winning perspective for the team and for fantasy perspective? Yeah, Pittsburgh feels like number one. I feel like Carolina could bring the most out of them, I suppose. Other than that, I suppose I watched Chuba at the Big 12 a lot, and Duke can take it to the house. Good pass catching back. I like him too. I like Chuba Hubbard, but he's just not in a position where even if McCaffrey was traded, he'll be the locked-in starter, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not really focused on him right now when McCaffrey's still on the roster and not extremely likely to be traded. So I wouldn't start worrying too much about Chuba yet, but I wouldn't cut him or anything if you have him. I'm just saying. Smitty, what would you do if he stays in Houston? What would you do? What would I do? Well, I would prepare for him to start because he's getting paid $35 million. But I don't think he's staying, bro. And the Texans may say we're not trading him for anything less than three first rounders. But I don't know. I think that they're gonna budge on that if push comes to shove. But I don't know that. I think you could get like a player and two, or you could get a couple second rounders with 2 first rounders. Like they're gonna be able to justify the value being similar to the 3 first rounders. I think with the offers coming in, there's gonna be multiple teams fighting. Just like if let's say you're in a housing market where the housing market is crazy. Like everybody's selling houses left and right. You can't even buy a house because there's 4 offers on every house. Everybody knows what that's like if they've lived in the last 5 years in the world. If you're in a quarterback race and there are 4 or 5 or 6 teams vying for this quarterback, even if you let people know we've got to get rid of him, we'll trade him. We're going to trade him no matter what. Even if it's known you're going to trade him no matter what, you're still going to have a bidding war. Like the supply and demand takes care of it. Even if it's obvious that you're going to trade him, like you do not want Deshaun Watson on your roster, it's not like people are going to nickel and dime you or sweat you and make you give up less, because literally everyone's just going to go, well, if you're not going to do it, we'll pay it. And everybody's going to want to pay the price. And before you know it, just like when you list your house for X number of dollars and then you really are desperate, and even if everybody knew you're desperate to get out, you needed the money bad, you still might have an offer above your asking price because people are bidding. So I don't think it's crazy to think he could really get the 3 first rounders that they're requiring. But it also wouldn't shock me if they didn't, they didn't like stick to their guns and say we're only doing it for 3 first rounders. This is from Jim.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think about waiting a little bit on a quarterback in a 2022 one-quarterback redraft league? The idea of getting Josh Allen or Mahomes is really, really enticing, but seeing a lot of your mock drafts, I'm seeing Allen and Mahomes and Herbert going in sometimes the early 3rd round, where I feel like you can get a really good quarterback like Rodgers or Lance or Lamar in the 5th or 6th round. So I'm always like, best player available type of drafter, but what are your thoughts on waiting for a guy like I just listed instead of going for a guy in the 3rd?
So it's a good question, and I create videos on this every offseason because it's such an important topic and people still struggle with the early quarterback stuff. It comes down to, like you mentioned, and as I say all the time, best player available. If there is a better option on the board other than Josh Allen or Mahomes, and a lot of times there are, then you take that route and then you draft like a Trey Lance in the later rounds and you clean up. Like there's nothing wrong with drafting Trey Lance and passing on Josh Allen. The problem is when you get to a certain point in your draft and you're seeing Josh Allen on the board and then you've got wide receivers and running backs you're not extremely excited about, but because you have to have a running back, you're told you need to draft a running back. You're told not to go early quarterback. You take somebody you don't even love over Josh Allen. But if you're looking at Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall, or let's say DK Metcalf, and you like DK at the very end of the 3rd round, Like, it's okay, even with the risk there, it's okay to go with that player you absolutely love. Someone that has a lot of bang for their buck, someone that could climb a whole round or a round and a half in value later on. In hindsight, you're like, man, he's a second rounder. Like, take that player over a quarterback, like almost every time, because you have the options of Trey Lance and Russell Wilson later on. Russell Wilson could climb a lot, but I love both those quarterbacks. Later. But when you get to a point where you literally are like, I don't know who I want to take, and you don't take Josh Allen or Mahomes because you're told you can't take a quarterback early, you're making a huge mistake. You're making a huge mistake passing on a guaranteed amount of production and going with a player you're not even sure on. So in the third round, if you're sure, and a player like Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall sitting there, or Kyle Pitts, and you for some reason he fell, or a wide receiver that shouldn't have fallen, or you want to go Hopkins in redraft and take the risk that Hopkins bounces back, he's a great third round pick. Like, I'm okay with that approach. Watson. What a day. We got Deshaun Watson. I don't even know if we're going to go straight into the 7 p.m. show. We got 45 minutes until the 7 p.m. show. We might as well just stay live. This might end up being a 3-hour live stream. So we'll see how I feel here. Smitty, is this the craziest offseason ever? It kind of is, man. And I saw somebody say, I forget who it was, one of the normal negative Nancy's, I think it was Alley-oop. What's up, Alley-oop? Said something about that my crystal ball hasn't been on point with some of this player movement, bro. It's smoke season. Predicting quarterback landing spots in this chaos is far from easy. And no one's going to see the Russell Wilson thing fully coming. Nobody. This stuff is all over the map. And deciphering all the smoke is literally one of the most impossible tasks. And I have no shame in not seeing some of this coming. These are NFL teams making decisions where it only takes one freaking team to make a move you're not expecting. And even with the Aaron Rodgers stuff, we fully don't know how much of this man wanted to go to Denver, because Denver's actually come out and said this had nothing to do with the Aaron Rodgers trade. Aaron Rodgers dangled around for so long, the Russell Wilson opportunity developed, and they were going down that road no matter what. So when people say, "Oh, I knew he was going to Green Bay. I told you, 100% he was going back," you don't even know, because Denver got taken off the table and wasn't really even an option for Aaron Rodgers any longer. And we don't know the behind-the-scenes workings to all that. Maybe he decided he wanted to go. It's possible. We'll never know. But this is what it's going to be like in the offseason. Predicting any of these spots to an accurate degree this is like predicting the NFL draft. When you predict the NFL draft, you're wrong up and down that entire board. These are not things that are... Gee, Smitty, putting me out there like that. You put yourself out there like that when you told me my crystal ball was off. So what are you talking about? That was your own doing. I have Watson in all my leagues. I'm buzzing. We're here to win a championship at the end of the day, says Twin. Appreciate you, Twin. Why did I get timed out? I don't know. Can Ahmad speak to that? Why did Mr. TD get timed out? Don't time out my boy Mr. TD if possible. Were you repeating yourself over and over? Sometimes, Mr. TD, it's automated. Did you repeat something over and over and then it I don't know. I don't know that a mod did. Do I have a mod in here that timed Mr. TD out? You can admit it. I just want to know what happened, because Mr. TD, whatever you did, maybe they can explain it to you. I didn't time you out. I rarely have time for that. That's what my mods do. My mods take care of all that for me because they're the best mods in the world. And you know what? I need to thank my moderators more. Shame on me. Shame on me. Let me pull up YouTube, because you know what it is my app here that I'm using doesn't always show me my moderators the same way. So I need to thank my mods, and I'm gonna call my mods out right now that are in here. I don't even see a lot of my mods in here, bro. So I don't even know if you didn't get timed out from a mod. I might need to make a couple more mods, by the way, because I think as we're getting bigger and we're going live so much, I need to have more moderators. So I'm going to start picking a few of you that I feel are trusty trusty potential moderators. Hunar's laughing at moderators. Why are you laughing at moderators, Hunar? They're very, very vital to a show. Some managers may be against drafting Watson in redraft because his character, he may drop just a bit. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know that there are a lot of mods around. Joel, I trust Joel. Joel, you want to be a mod? Smitty, can you be a mod? Can I be a mod, please, says Vamp. Vamp, I got to see you around a little longer, bro. I appreciate you. So far, you're a pretty awesome contributor, so we like you. We like you around here. Keep coming back. Cliff, Smitty, I decided... Let's see. Pull it on here so I can read it. Smitty, I have decades of mod experience on other sites if you need one. Cliff, keep doing what you're doing and we'll recognize you for sure. I'm Canadian, very trustworthy, says Joel. If he did do it, that's the whole worry. Watson, top 3 talent for me at QB. Agreed. Yeah, there was no mods in here, Mr. TD, so I don't know what happened, bro. LOL, not laughing, just didn't see any mods except for Kenny or Terry. Oh, I got you. Yeah, we have about 15 mods, I think. 15 to 20 moderators, but they're not all in here at the same time, so that's why you got to have more. The more you grow, when you have every 10,000 subscribers, I venture to say you need a good amount like that. Alley-oop, you have been here for quite a while. I will say, I don't know if I want my mods defaming the show every once in a while like you do, Alley-oop. You could be pretty critical. That's not the makings of a moderator, bro. It's not the makings of a moderator. You got to change that around before you start coming in and saying, Smitty, let me explain everything that's wrong with you today. You want me to grant you mod access with that kind of attitude, bro? I appreciate you. I don't block anybody for being critical and stuff. I think it's part of the show. It could bring a little spice to the show sometimes, but occasionally guys like Noah who would come in and be just extra negative and try and bring down the chat. I'm not saying you're like that, Aliu, but How about Donald? That guy Donald that always comes in and argues? I still appreciate you, Alley-oop. Okay, I feel I argue with Smitty too. You do argue with me a little bit, Hunar. A little bit. Not saying I don't deserve it at times or that I'm always going to be right. It's also tough to come in here and try and have an opinion as things are developing, you know what I mean? So it's going to happen where my stance is going to change, and sometimes people don't like that. I don't know why. Noah should be a mod. Mark Cleveland says, write it down. Watson going to Dolphins. Baked in, boys. Attaboy, Mark. How about Doug for mod? How about not? How about Noah wants to be a mod? How about not? I'm surprised you're here, Noah. You haven't been here forever. Welcome back, Noah. Man. Mark Cleveland in the house. What's up, Mark? Okay, so what are you guys thinking? Is there any more breaking news? We got 127 in here. Hit the thumb up button if you're new. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. We now have, we had 115 people in here roughly. Let's see here. If there's any more breaking news, I'm going to toss it on screen here. Let me pull up Twitter. And some news wires. Man, I can't believe Deshaun Watson is probably on the move now. This is kind of exciting. Chargers tender exclusive rights free agent Guyton. Jalen Guyton, he's a good little receiver. Matt Ryan's contract restructured for cap space. That's interesting because this guy's contract was pretty brutal. I wonder what that means. I wonder what they're gonna do. Let's put this on screen and review it real quick. Matt Ryan news. Matt Ryan restructures his contract. Let's see here. It's unclear from this report exactly how much room the Falcons will save, but it will continue to kick Ryan's monster deal dead cap hit down the line. Ryan was going to have $48 million cap hit in 2022. That's so much, $48 million. When he signed that deal, I thought it was ridiculous. There were a lot of Ryan supporters back then too. He's so good. It's just a garbage contract. He's okay, but he's not a $48 million quarterback. And back then, that was a lot. Like now, I guess it's not as crazy as it was, but back then it was one of the bigger contracts. It's possible that void years could be added to spread some dead cap around. This restructure buys the Falcons some room to pursue some free agents in 2022. So that's interesting. Amari Cooper to Atlanta. I guess potentially. Smitty, make me an anti-mod. You already are, pal. Waddle and the running back they draft to the moon. Waddle with Watson would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely insane. I'd be so thrilled. So thrilled. Let's see here. Cordero Patterson. I imagine they want to try and keep Cordero. And I think he does want to stay, but I don't know if that's just him trying to, make nice in order to make sure he doesn't burn a bridge on his way out the door if he doesn't get the deals he's looking for. He's not sure the Falcons will Athletic says he's not sure the Falcons will re-sign free agent Cordero Patterson. Patterson was one of the few bright spots for the Atlanta Falcons in 2021, often viewed as a improperly used player. Patterson finally saw significant work as a rusher and receiver for the Falcons. He did have such a good year. He had 6 TDs on the ground, 618 running, 548. He did kind of tail off for 5 TDs, but he had the 11 scores in 2021. He had a phenomenal year. What do I think of Wagner? Yeah, Terry. I like it. Matt Ryan is not bad, says Noah. No, it wouldn't shock me. You would just straight come in after a big, long absence and wait for me to say something and then say Matt Ryan isn't bad. What about anything else I've said all show? Anything else you'd like to talk about, Noah? Smitty, should I trade Mahomes for Watson? No. Why would you do that? Absolutely not. Waddle would be Hopkins Jr. Waddle would just be Waddle, bro. 100 receptions last year as a rookie. He'd be Debo. He'd be like Debo. He's going to get used a little bit by Debo. Here to collect my props, Mr. Smitty. Oh, you're saying because of the case? Well, this is the thing, man. We knew it could go either way. It's not like, but you did have some good information you dropped, and we do appreciate it. But yeah, it's crazy to think. It's crazy to think because no one has the information of what the facts were, what the evidence was. But to your point last night, I think it was last night, that there had to be evidence, and clearly what the attorneys were holding and what they presented was not enough to convince 9 of the jurors to move forward, which is crazy considering this man pled the fifth the entire way. It is insane. It's insane. But it's great news for fantasy football. It's absolutely phenomenal. Smitty, I traded. Yes, I did. Javonte for Hill and a 2022 first to 1.10. I don't know that I like it, Terry. Yes, I did. Javonte for Hill. I'd rather have Javonte. The 1.10, what's the 1.10 going to be? It could be good, could be bad. Maybe you land it, maybe you don't. Who is it? It's almost like a second rounder to me. I'd much rather have Javonte Williams. Javonte I'd draft higher than Hill, even right this very second. So I don't like it, man. You should have brought that to me. I don't know if I'm going to Smitty disapprove it, but I'm going to say I don't know. And guys, if you're new,
hit that subscribe button if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
if they let, what's it say here? I have to drag it over. It's too small over there. If they let drag install, what? Stall Ben off. I figured that what are you saying? Reword that. Reword that, buddy. Hill's still steady since day one, but I hear you. I mean, he's steady, but he's getting older, bro. I mean, Devontae's worth more than Hill straight up, and then I don't know if the 1.1 is a guarantee. I appreciate you, Terry, and I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear, but you did ask me for my opinion. I'm not going to blow smoke. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, BA. I appreciate you, and thanks for bringing the knowledge last night. You had some good stuff to share. You did. And you did keep me a little honest last night in that you know, we didn't know what the evidence was, so it is hard to assume. But man, the fact that you hear from attorneys that they, like the phrase goes, you can indict a ham sandwich. So it's shocking. And this goes to show how much little evidence they must have had. Like that, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. And all the people saying that Deshaun Watson, that the attorneys maybe, and this is speculation and opinion, but that the attorneys really driving a lot of this, and that maybe there's not a ton of evidence, and there never was, and this attorney literally is a driving force behind. It's crazy to think about, you know. Let's see here. If you're new, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. You guys are doing a good job with the likes today. Kudos. Thank you. How many likes do we got? Hit the thumbs up. We have 100. Nice. 115. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I respect your thoughts. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. Pops was an attorney I learned by osmosis. Attaboy. One attorney was always a red flag to me, says Cliff. It's true. It's true. Let's see here. Should we mock draft? Let's mock draft. Let's mock draft, ladies and gentlemen. Let me minimize this real quick. All right. I'm going to drop the link in a second here. Got 99 people in the house. Please drop a thumbs up. And please subscribe if you're new. Here comes the link. Boom. Okay, 99 of you in here. Punch the thumbs up. Let's roll. I'm late, but Ridley lied to us about mental health, says Sonny. De Jesus says, been waiting for this for mock drafts. Can never get enough mock drafts. Make this a real draft. Makes the real draft easier. Appreciate you. Joel's in the 1.12. We got 3 spots left. I love how you guys jump around all the time. It's hilarious. Like if we sit here too long with the 2 open spots, somebody jumps around. They're like, no, I gotta have the 10. I gotta have the 9. I gotta have the 10. I gotta have the 9. Let's go, Kyle. I'm gonna pin the link. Jump into the mock. 3 spots left. Let me jump around. I'm going to go to 9, and I'm going to go to 2. That does feel kind of fun. You're on the edge of your seat. You don't know if someone's going to take the spot. Doesn't let you join, Sonny. I don't know why. Are you not logged in? Kyle's jumping all over the place. 3's open, 10's open. 3's open, 10's open. Guys, we have like 100 people in here. Are we really taking this long to fill a mock draft? I'm 55. Wolf Hunter. Okay. So you're the 7th spot. I'm going to drop the link one more time. I tried, they took my spot. There's still 2 spots left, isn't there? There's 2 spots left, bro. Oh. It's gonna be another long night. I can tell already. We're probably just gonna go into the 5 o'clock hour. I might not go the entire full hour or 7 o'clock hour. I might not go live the whole entire 7 to 8 o'clock because we're going to be live for like 2.5 straight hours. But I think we're just not going to end the live stream. All right, guys, come on. We got 2 spots here. We got 70 to 100 people in here. Let's go. During the day, maybe because a lot of you are working and listening. Raise your hand if you're actually at work right now. Give a thumbs up. Who is at work right now? Is that the problem? Because I don't really do a lot of midday or early evening mocks. Yeah, drop it on the Discord. That's a good point. Thumbs up if you're working right now. I'm just curious who is like listening in their pocket or in their AirPod. Discord. Yeah, if I drop it in the Discord, watch live on YouTube. There you go. Good point. Sorry I didn't do that earlier. Okay, number 1 on the clock. JT, I'm going to go with Najee, and I will be right back, people. All right. Where are we at? So Jonathan Taylor goes to 1.1. Najee Harris goes to your man Smitty at 1.2. Justin Jefferson goes number... Oh, did I have Dynasty up? Who's drafting for Dynasty? I accidentally had Dynasty at the top. Let me pause it real quick. This might give you your timer back. Hopefully you guys already... We'll put redraft at the top so everybody's not confused there. If you've already drafted Dynasty, my apologies. Buffalo War, you get another 30 seconds. You're lucky there. Gucci, I'm sorry if I change it to redraft on you. Hunar says, I'm driving. So it went JT, Najee, Justin Jefferson. In Dynasty, Nucci might have been drafting for Dynasty, but Gucci. Yeah, Nucci. But Gucci, I like that. I don't hate that that's your redraft pick. I'm fine with that, bro. I'm fine with that. Don't fret about Jefferson at 3 if you thought it was Dynasty. I'm all for it. In fact, because it's a mock, you're trying things out, you know what I mean? You're trying things out, you're doing why isn't this working? CD's way too early, I think, because they thought it was Dynasty. Which you could argue is still too early, but it makes more sense if it's Dynasty. So Taylor, Harris, Jefferson, Javonte Williams, Cooper Kupp, Chase went 6, Eckler went 7, Adams went 8, Lamb went 9, McCaffrey went 10, Henry went 11, Hill went 12, Deebo Samuel went 13 to the Hill owner. Nick Chubb went to the Derrick Henry owner. Diggs at the 2.3 paired up with McCaffrey. CJ Coe. What would you trade JT for if the other side was Javonte? Ooh. I think like a second round player that we're seeing right here. And I know that's a lot, but it's just the way it would be. CD was picked after you already said it was redraft, but they might not have been watching. You know what I mean? They could be switching from their phone. Some people will watch the show, switch over to the app draft, and come back to the show. So that would make sense that they didn't hear that. That's on me. Take a lap, Smitty.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
That's on me. So Javonte and a second for JT. Not a second. Javonte and one of these players getting drafted in the second, which is a hefty price tag, I know. But if I'm trading, hey, Buffalo War Pigs, you got to switch off your auto draft. If you click on the Q tab, there'll be an auto draft toggle. Make sure you toggle that off. So like it might be a lot to ask, but like Waddle and Javonte for if you're trading JT, like I just couldn't trade JT. Yeah, alley-oop, I think the reason Cook's lasting is, again, there's people drafting on their phone that they don't realize we switched to redraft. It's my fault. I had Dynasty in the top left corner, and I think everybody's drafting Dynasty. So I should have just stuck with Dynasty. That's my fault. That's my fault. In redraft. In redraft, I probably would take Cook here. If it's dynasty, I probably wouldn't. And that's me doubting Cook. Like, I stay clear of Cook. I stay clear of Cook in the first round. I just would rather have Adams. I'd rather have Chase. I'd rather have those guys. But at the end of the second round, and I firmly believe this is because a lot of people thought this was dynasty. Michael, what are you asking, Michael? Does winning a lifetime Sleeper U membership give me mod access? No, but maybe you keep doing good things on the channel and we're going to be forced to make you a mod.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
I didn't mean to hit that.
Take a lap.
I didn't
take
mean
a
to
lap.
hit that. Sorry. You don't have to take a lap. I accidentally pressed on. I have a foot pedal, and I hit the wrong button. I didn't mean to make you take a lap there. You're just asking a question. But hey, man, Michael, you're pretty darn good commenter so far. So you keep it up, man. We just for mods, it's like when someone's been around for like I don't know how long you've been around, Michael. Maybe I should have noticed you've been around longer than you have. I'm sorry, but once you've been around for a long time, that's when we can kind of pull you in because it's a pretty big responsibility. Even though you're not asked to do a ton unless you're here, but you know, it's just we want to make sure. I don't want to have 50, 100 mods out there if someone's not coming back on the regular all the time. So, how long have you been a viewer? Alley-oop really wants to be a mod. We'll see if you can start putting together a string of weeks of positivity, and we'll take baby steps. First time going triple running back in a while, says Grossman. What pick are you at, Grossman? You're at you're at the 1.4. I work during all your live streams, so I do my best to show up. Been here for 1 year. Attaboy, Michael. I'm sorry I didn't know you were here a year. Best mods keep the chat running smoothly and warn before banning. That's right, Cliff. Cliff's on his way to being a mod, I can tell. I'm being so nice, says Alley-oop. Keep doing it, Alley-oop. Just keep in mind you're not even on one full day of no negativity because you already spout negativity earlier today. So tomorrow's your fresh start. It's gonna drive you nuts. It's gonna drive you nuts, Alley-oop. I don't think it's in you. Eli Mitchell falling. Yeah. And just to clarify my Cook pick, because I have a lot of don't draft Dalvin Cook content out there, and when I draft him in a mock, I think it confuses people. But it's from the perspective of first round value of like 5 overall, 6 overall, 7 overall. I think if you paired him with Madison, he's a very, very safe, like, you know, second round pick anywhere in the second round. There's no way he would have fallen to 2.11 in a real draft that was redraft. I think everybody saw Dynasty, and a lot of people are drafting on their phones and switching back and forth between the live and their phone. I can tell because the viewership will bounce around a good 10 people, because I know that a lot of people are doing that. And that's probably why people haven't heard that we were doing redrafts, because they saw the Dynasty in the top corner, and that's my fault. That's, again...
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
That's my fault. Herbert, Etienne, Samuel, and Hill from the corner spot. From that 12 spot. That's pretty solid. The number 11's got Henry, Chubb, Wilson. Again, they must have thought it was Dynasty. It's my fault. Kittle, McCaffrey, Diggs, Hopkins, Andrews. Again, they must have thought it was Dynasty. Lamb, Swift, McLaurin, Higgins, Gumbo has Adams, A.J. Brown, Gibson, and who else? Can we pick a team for Watson to be on? Makes a difference in where he's picked. I mean, I don't know, man. It's not like we can insert the team. I think Wolf thinks it's Dynasty too. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he's taking Burks that high, but it's a little bit high. I think I have the Dynasty rankings on too, which is very confusing. So this is a whole. This is totally my fault. Let's start a new one right now. I'm going to keep this one rolling, but sleeper. I'm going to run it back. What pick do I have? 2. I'm going to run it back the same one. And copy link, draft settings, PPR. Drop in the link, mock 2. So jump in now and grab your spot. I pinned the link. So jump into the second mock draft. Oh, man. I auto-drafted. So, what are you guys thinking about Watson? Where is he going? Where is he ending up? Everybody predict a Deshaun Watson landing spot. Let's hear it. And let's say your life was on the line. Your life was on the line. You've got to predict where he lands. Predict where he's going to go. Your life is on the line. Go. We've got one Panthers vote by Ronaldo. Let's see who's alive at the end of free agency. Your life is on the line. Grossman's putting his life on the line for the Eagles. Yuri's saying Seattle. Ronaldo's saying Panthers. Cliff says Tampa. All right, let's start. Philly. Cook says Philly. Oh, I'm on the clock. Michael says Seattle. Alex says Carolina. Alley-oop. New Orleans. Again, Alex is Carolina. Darn, I missed the draft. Jose, you missed a few of them. We gotta work on your mock draft speed, bro. So when Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, Adams, Chase Hill. George says Philly. We might do another mock, bro. So hang tight. We might do another one, Terry. I'd love to see Philadelphia, but Watson is on record saying no. Yeah, but who knows if that changes, man. He wants out. He wants to move on. If Houston says that's where we want to trade you, and he might be like, okay. You know, who knows? And did he really say it? Like, I don't think he really has time to be answering questions, and I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. You know what I mean? I don't buy the Pittsburgh Steelers not being interested either. Lamb in a redraft still going super high, Looter. I can't believe he's a first rounder. He's so doubted. Everybody hates him so badly right now. Tampa Bay maybe. Maybe Rager would be involved in the deal. I would love Devontae Smith to have Watson. I'll admit that. I'll admit that right now. Debo Samuel and Swift. Waddle and Lamb. Looks like a dynasty squad, Looter. Not gonna lie. Looks kind of dynasty-like, bro. Who do I take? Nope, it says... Why does it say Dynasty again in the top corner? Oh, come on, dude. It keeps saying reverting back to Dynasty. I'm saying it's redraft verbally, though. It keeps retitling it Dynasty. I don't know why. Yeah, we can do another one, too. Okay, let's go in there and make sure it holds the... It says redraft right there. I put redraft in there. I don't understand why it's reverting back to Dynasty. So I'm doing PPR. It says redraft. I hit save on that earlier. It says redraft. I don't understand why it's reverting back, but it is. Okay, dropping it in the chat. This is redraft. Again, guys, I want to make sure everybody's aware. This is the third draft. So if you missed any of those, now's your chance. Get in. I'm going to go with the 6 pick. No, I'll go with 7. I love this start. I got auto drafted, but I had him queued. So it's who I wanted. But Najee, Allen, and Kelsey, I love that in a redraft. And I'm not even a Kelsey like early drafter, but that's fine by me. This is mock draft number 1, we'll call it. We finished this one. But that one's kind of jacked up. We're going to ignore that one. You know, that's the second time you've drafted your team, Shook. Come on, man. I'm not one to talk because I auto-drafted on a pick there. But don't tell Shook. But Shook, jump back in, pal. You got to hit that. You got to turn off auto-draft under Q. The Q tab. Or it'll be at the top of the browser. Don't tell Shook I auto-picked because I just yelled at him. Free Watson as long as it's not to the Seahawks, says Drew. Yeah, that is kind of high for Russell Wilson. Damn. Third round? Really? Really? Over Herbie? Herbert was the number 2 quarterback last year. Herbie to the moon. This Khalil Mack move. Herbert to the moon. Khalil Mack gonna make this offense have great field position on the regular. Give me Herbie to the moon. All right, let's start this one. I mean, how do you not take Kamara this late, though? You know, you got to figure they restructured his contract. Did you guys see that? They restructured his contract. That's a little weird if they're thinking he's not going to play at all or like half a season. So even if he misses, let's say he gets suspended 4 or 6 games, like 4.11, I think in redraft I'm taking that chance. This is mock draft number 2. This is redraft, PPR. This is mock draft number 1. Yes. Yos. Actually, no. I don't know who I want. I mean, Aaron Jones is okay here, too. ETN I like a lot. I guess I would take him there. Cook. No! 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 This is what I get for running 2 mocks at the same time. I was trying to click Devontae. No! No!
Take a lap, take a lap. Take a lap, take a lap. Take a lap, take a lap. Take a lap, take a lap.
Damn it. Damn it. All right, so these teams, Taylor, Hopkins, Mahomes, Godwin, Cooper, Harris, Josh Allen, Kelsey, Kamara, Aaron Jones. I'd love that team in redraft. I don't think Kamara's fallen that far at the end of the day. I think right now people are scared, and I'm helping create some of that fear because I think it's why'd I have to take why'd I have to take Cook? Why'd I have to take Cook? Unbelievable auto pick. Jeez. I should just take him out and just punish myself. Javonte, A.J. Brown, Monty, Judy, ETN. Very solid squad. Adams, Barkley, Elliott. I don't like Barkley and Elliott, to be honest, but I love the Pitts and McLaurin picks. Triple J, Breece Hall. I think he thought this was Dynasty. Chase, Hall, Andrews, Metcalf, Dobbins, Hill, Diggs, Kittle, Deontay, Jacobs, McCaffrey, Eckler, Waller, Keenan, Murray, Kupp, Henry, Higgins, Burrow, Spiller, Cook, Chubb, Russell Wilson, Evans, Drake London, Justin Jefferson, Mixon, Herbert, Burks, St. Brown. I gotta charge my Fitbit. Hold on. There we go. Solid. I mean, Burks is early. I think you thought it was Dynasty. Debo, Swift, Mitchell. Am I on the clock? No, I'm not. And Luter's got Lamb, Waddle, Walker, Gibson. I mean, it's still a really good squad, Luter, even though you drafted for Dynasty, thinking that we were doing Dynasty. Okay, let's do another mock draft here. I don't care if I timed out. I'm still going to do it live. Let's do it. I'm taking the 12 spot. Copy link. It says it's always reverting back to Dynasty. Why? Why are you reverting back to Dynasty? PPR. Redraft. Ridiculous. Copy link. Drop said link in chat. 54321. This is a new mock draft. Jump in. If you've been missing it, you have no excuse to get in some of these mock drafts. We're doing tons of them. All right, I'm on the clock here. I got to start queuing some people up. I'm gonna get screwed here if I'm not paying attention. Already got Dalvin Cook in the first round. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. 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 I love Kenneth Walker in a third round, mid-third round especially, but third round redraft pick. Absolutely love Kenneth Walker. I love him even more. Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker in Dynasty third round is amazing. You still see that sometimes. But Walker is right now, if you're doing best ball, if you're just drafting early with your buddies, Kenneth Walker is my favorite third round pick right now. And Breece Hall as well for redraft, third round, lock it in. All right, here we go. Starting mock draft number, what is this, 5? 4? This is mock draft 1 currently. Smitty, you should do live NFL draft show. I do. Vamp, let me ask you a question. Vamp, I'm not trying to blast you here, okay? This is me. This is just my nature. It's my personality. Don't take it the wrong way. But good God, man. Do you think this? I go live the moment there's Watson news. I go live the moment there's Russell Wilson news. Vamp. I go live the moment that somebody whispers that somebody's dog is sick. You know, a big quarterback, a big name quarterback's dog is sick. He's heading to the vet hospital. I go live. What on earth, Vamp, makes you think that I'm not live during the NFL draft, Vamp? What have I done to offend you so? Appreciate you, Vamp. You're still my boy, Blue. You're still my boy, Blue. Okay. I think we're going... Oh, God, am I on the clock over here? No, okay. think we're going to go Herbie. We've got 2 running backs. Yeah, we're just going to take Herbs. So right now we got Cook, Samuel, Walker, Herbert. Still a top 5 team, in my opinion. Even though I screwed up. I'd get Madison. It's okay, Vamp. It's fine. No harm, no foul. I was just expressing. I don't know. I felt like I had to get it off my chest, Vamp. It's basically like asking me to be there for you. You know, you don't have to ask. I work for you, Vamp. I work for you. Even though I'm yelling at you, Vamp, I work for you. You guys are driving me nuts with this snipage. It's unreal. God, do I want to take McCaffrey? I don't want to take McCaffrey. I suppose if I'm gonna do it, it's here. If I'm gonna draft, and I will, I'll take McCaffrey in 1 league. I don't think I want to miss out on not drafting McCaffrey, but I certainly do not want to own him in more than 1 league. Because if he goes down, it's going to be that, why did I do it? What made me bet on McCaffrey again? That's what we're going to say to ourselves if we draft McCaffrey. But in 1 league at the turn picks, I want to own him in 1 league. Just one, in case he does bounce back and stay healthy. I've got to have a share. Just 1 share. But that's it. I don't want 2. I don't want 3. I'm not going to be mad at myself if McCaffrey goes nuts and has a comeback year. If I have him in just 1 league, I won't be like, oh, I should have did it in more leagues. I'm understanding the risk. I just don't want to take on more than 1. But in this situation, this is a pretty good spot to do it. The turn pick, Samuel, McCaffrey, it'd be okay. Henry, I could have done. I could have gone Henry, McCaffrey, and did, ran the risk, the double risk. Already got a quarterback. I could use a wide receiver. I'm going to time out. No! I don't want him! I continue to do 2 mocks at the same time, even though I can't. I'm timing out on one of them, but it's still fun.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
I don't know. Godwin's not the worst pick there, but I just don't think he's gonna have the best year coming back off an ACL tear. Could he have a decent year? Sure, but is he gonna be a top 10 wide receiver? No, he can't be. He could. Can't be, can he? Can't. It's so hard to come back from an ACL tear. I mean, Cooper Kupp did it, but the year after the 1 year back, you can do it. I'm not saying Godwin couldn't do it, but I don't think he could do it this first year. He's going to struggle the first year. It's just tough. It's tough. So we got Derrick Henry, Mixon, Evans, Deontay Wilson. We got McCaffrey, Diggs, McLaurin, Higgins, Lockett. We've got Adams, Swift, Andrews, Akers, Moore. It sounded like a candy bar or something. Adams, Swift, Andrews, Akers, Moore. Hill, Chubb. Why is this not working? Can't highlight Team 9. Hill, Chubb, Elliott, Kittle, Murray, Eckler, A.J. Brown, Kamara, Waller, A-Rod, Cook, Samuel, Walker, Herbert, Godwin. I like this team a little, but I do. It's good. It's still good. I wish I wouldn't have picked Godwin. I don't know who I would have grabbed, though, because I was struggling to find somebody. Kupp, Lamb, Breece Hall, Mitchell. Those are two good running backs by going wide receiver, wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty solid. Like, I like that. You did good there. Mitchell and Breece Hall are fantastic for waiting. Chase, Waddle, Monty, and Dobbins are okay. I'm not a big Dobbins guy coming off an ACL tear as well. Godwin's got a better shot than coming off the ACL tear. Dumb to take Waddle over Hopkins? I don't think so, Jake. I think Waddle's top 5 this year. You don't want to take him top 5, but I certainly would take him in the top 10. Freaking love Waddle, bro. I don't think it's dumb at all. I take Waddle every time over Hopkins. But I like Hopkins. Hopkins is a bounce back for me, but I'm still taking Waddle every single. So I guess I'm a moron. Javonte Williams, Barkley, Metcalf, Burrow, ETN. Oh, we're close to being on the clock here. Oh, yeah, buddies. Yeah, buddies. Yeah, buddies. Oh, buddies. Give me the Breece Hall action all day long at the end of the third round. Oh, buddies. What are we doing here? We sleeping at the wheel? That's a team right there. I like that squad from the 12 spot. You can't get a better squad than that. Debo taking the risk on the McCaffrey train. I get it. Breece Hall. DK's very discounted. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Pretty good. Damn, Smitty, I wanted Hall. I bet you did. Oh, where are we at? Luter, Najee, Kelsey, Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Burks. In redraft, I'm not taking Burks that high. I like Burks a lot, but you can get away with him later. It's not that I don't like him. Jefferson, Gibson, Hopkins, Pitts, Watson. That's a team right there. That's solid, Crime. You took Gibson a little high, but I still like it. Still, it's top 5. Taylor, Keenan Allen, Josh Allen, Jacobs. Not a huge Jacobs guy, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. Superflex, buddies. Superflex. Draft setting. 2 QBs. Redraft. Superflex. Copy link. Going from the 5. Copy link. I don't want to keep taking the 1 and 2. I'll go with the 5. I'll spread it out. 2 QB. 2 QB, people. You should be able to tell by the pre-rankings, okay? Let's review these teams now so we can start another mock after this. Debo, McCaffrey, Hall, Metcalf, love it. Diggs, Lamb, Monty, Mitchell, pretty darn good. Chase, Swift, Gibson, Herbert, solid. Jefferson, Kelsey, Fournette. Emil, what are you doing, broski? Did you sit on the keyboard? Fournette in the 3rd round. I mean, if you believe in Fournette, you can get him a lot later. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but I mean, that's out of place. That's sticking out like a sore thumb there. Eckler, Mixon, Hopkins, Waller. It's still a good team, you know, I mean, but big missed opportunity taking them that high. Kupp, Henry, JK's way too high. Aaron Jones, still a good team, though. Hill, AJ Brown, Barkley, ETN, very interesting. Shook's not timing out, although it looks like he is. It's 4 straight running. Shook, I'm sorry, I didn't. Shook, take a running back. Start the Superflex. Shook, take a running back. Okay. Murray. What are you going to do with all those running backs, bro? I mean, they're good. You gotta, but I mean, Aaron Jones isn't going that high. You could have got him later. Shook, you cracked me up. Timed out like 2 of the other drafts, too. What are you doing? Are you working? Are you driving while you're drafting? Don't do that, Shook. It's not safe.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Superflex. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm gonna try not drafting a quarterback from the 5, and then I might draft again from the same spot, drafting a quarterback. Let's see how they both turn out. Luter, Javonte, Waddle, Walker, Burrow, Pitts. Luter, a man after my own heart. That team's fire, Luter. That's probably the best team I've seen. And that's a reach on Waddle a little bit, not crazy reach, but a little reach. Keenan Allen shouldn't have gone that high. But Luter, that team is fire, bro. That team is straight, just steaming hot fire. Javonte, Waddle, Walker, Burrow, Pitts. Broski. That's the best mock of the day. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Yeah, nobody crazy, but I like Evans. So, Samuel, McCaffrey, Hall, Metcalf, Evans, I think that'd be top 5. But this is the number 1 team right here. Williams, Waddle, Walker, Burrow, Pitts, I like that a lot. Taylor, Allen, Andrews, Deontay, Higgins, solid. Harris, Chubb, Kittle, Elliott, Moore, not bad. Not bad. Okay. We're doing another 2 QB league. Draft settings. 2 QB redraft. I'm going to take the same. Is it the 4 pick? What do I have over here? The 5 pick. The 5 pick. I'm going to draft a quarterback this time. So you guys are going to see me do 2 different. Link is dropped. You're going to see me do 2 different strategies from the same draft slot. Smitty, did you see a team offered a second for Jimmy? I wasn't here. I haven't reacted to that yet. Let me pull that up. I've been mock drafting, so I haven't been paying attention. It's been all about Watson. I don't see a Jimmy G offer. Was that earlier today? Okay, let's see if we filled up on the second mock. We still got 4 more spots. This is a 2 QB league. Make sure you understand that. 2 QB league. You should be able to tell by the... Oh, hold on. You should be able to tell by the draft pre-ranked list because it's all quarterbacks. Okay. I was really hoping Trey Lance was going to fall to me. It's messed up, guys. It's messed up. So the question you got to ask yourself is, do I like the running backs here enough to say, hey, you know, I'm going Najee and I'm going to go, I don't want to make sure, did I start this one? Oh, we're still waiting. We need 1 more spot in this. Do I go Najee and like Hurts or Dak? Or in the case of going QB early here, am I going to like the running backs a lot better? So we'll see. We'll have to see what approach I like better. You know, because there's still some talent here. Like to go Burrow here at this 1.5, if I was to go Burrow here instead and then get, Hill, do I like that better? We're going to find out. Okay, we are full on this one. We're going to start this mock draft. These are both 2 QBs. I'm picking from the exact same spot, doing one approach where I draft a quarterback with my 1.5, the other approach where I go running back with 1.5. Watson projected at 159 is crazy, says Cliff. We've literally been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes since the Deshaun Watson news. Doesn't he have to clear the 22 civil suits first before anyone opens their money bag? Not really, because now he's not facing any league exempt list or anything like that. So teams are going to be much more willing to trade for him. So in this spot, I said I was going to go quarterback this time. So I'm going to go Joey B. And we'll see if I like my combo better. Instead of going Burrow, running back, or wide receiver versus this going Harris and then quarterback. We will see. We shall see. Side by side. Civil suits are all about the money. In my opinion, Watson was really strengthened. Yeah, he did. Cliff nailed it. And BA, I believe. Who was it? BA? Forget your Samuel. I think Samuels. BA Samuels. Have it on point that with a weak criminal dissolved to nothing criminal situation, the civil situation is much, much more. I'll be right back. So we're looking at Watson definitely being traded. I think it's going to ramp up real quick. Real quick, broski. CMC going to Buffalo maybe. I mean, that would be interesting for sure. But I wouldn't say that feels like a lock of any kind. But who knows? Is JT the 1.1 and 2 QB leagues pretty mainstream? No. 2 QB leagues usually don't have, they have Mahomes and Allen and a lot of times 3 straight quarterbacks. I'm definitely down for both strategies. Pittsburgh get Watson within 24 hours, says Jameel. I hope so. That's what we're hoping. I've been saying it all day, bro, that everybody keeps saying that Watson... Vamp. This is a comment by Vamp. I love it, Vamp. Everybody keeps saying Watson's not going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh already said that they aren't going to go after him, but that's smoke. And things have changed. You know, maybe they wouldn't have. Now they might. Totally different story. Okay, I'm coming back. This is closing in. Closing in. At the same time. This one's a little faster. This mock draft's a little faster than this mock draft. Same draft slot, just slightly different approaches. I took a quarterback in this one, in the super flex 2 QB league. I took Joe Burrow instead of going Najee and passing on Joe Burrow. And we're trying to see what team is better. Crap. I'm going to time out. I got to take him. I'm going to time out. I don't know. I got to take DK too early. I didn't want to take DK there, but that's fine. I'm on the clock. 22 seconds over here. Good Lord. Tyreek Hill. What? Cook again? Did you not? There was time on the clock. You got to be out of your minds. It said like, didn't it say like 5 seconds or 10 seconds? Why did it auto pick me with time left on the clock? Oh, why does it keep giving me Cook? Why does it keep giving me Cook? I would have taken Tyreek Hill. Wolf, you want to trade?
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Wolf, you want to trade Cook for Hill? Son of a B. Son of a B. Oh my God! Why did Watson? I would have taken Watson instead of Metcalf. I didn't realize he was on the clock or on the board still. That's a steal. Watson at 4.11 in a super flex. What are we all doing? Is Watson gone in this one? He's not. I don't know if Watson's ranking weird because he's not getting drafted. He was a steal in the 3rd round, let alone a steal here at 4.11. How did we not see Watson? Was he just ranked all the way down? Good Lord. Why did I take Cook? Oh, an auto pick again. Oh, I wanted Tyreek Hill.
Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap. Take a lap.
Gosh, dang it. I timed out again? Goddard! Why would it give me Goddard? I shouldn't do 2 mocks at the same time. I'm clearly out of my element. God. Goddard? On my good mock, the one I haven't messed up yet, I get Goddard on an auto. Hey, Smitty, I got an idea. Why not run? Why maybe not run 2 mock drafts at the same time? I don't care. I'm going to master it. This will make me stronger. This will make me stronger. This will make me better at drafting on the clock. Unbelievable. You know what? Let's step it up. Let's step it up. Let's step it up. We're doing 3. 1 QB, PPR redraft, 10-second timer. You heard me. 10-second timer. We aren't messing around. We train hardcore. I'll take the 2 on this one. We train hardcore here at the Fantasy Football Show. We don't mess around. I can't review all these teams. We're doing too many mocks. Okay, I'm almost up on that one. This one I can close right here because we're done with that one. This one right here, I'm sending the link. We're going to see how good we all are. We're going to test how good we are at drafting. This is all training. This is all training. Did I close the wrong window? Yeah. So that one's done. Can't believe I timed out. Okay, so we got that. Oh, God. That's a steal. I need some balance. All right, guys, this one right here we're about to do, this isn't for the average Joe. I don't recommend you joining this mock draft. I'm just telling you right now, 10-second timer. We're about to all get worked, but we're here to train. We're here to put in the work. We're here to get the pump in. This is like going to the gym. Okay, this is like getting in a good little workout. Just get a pump in. Aside from the Dalvin Cook auto draft, I'm really liking the squad. I feel like the timer's a little funny. Maybe because I'm running 3 or 4 different mocks, the timers are all getting jacked up because it's auto drafting me when I've got time on the clock. That team's fought. Like, I screwed up on the Cook pick. But good Lord. Good Lord. Joe Burrow, Cook, Watson, Evans, Mitchell. It's insane. All right, we got 2 more spots left in the 10-second 1 QB redraft mock we're about to drop to close the show out. We've got 54 of you still in here from the very beginning. Hit the thumbs up, smash and pulverize the like button, and let's roll. I love this squad. Phenomenal. Burrow, Watson, Cook. I don't love the Cook pick. I would take Madison, though. I got auto picked on the Cook pick. They keep picking Cook for me. I always get autoed on the same guy. Evans. Wolf has got Allen, Hill, Breece Hall, Pickett, Burks. Not bad. A little too rookie-driven, though, there on a redraft. Herbert, Hurts, A.J. Brown, Gibson, Montgomery, solid. Taylor, Stafford, Diggs, Carr, Andrews, Mahomes, Kelsey. I can't highlight that last team for some reason. Mahomes, Kelsey, Chubb, Akers, Keenan. Terry's got Wilson, Kupp, Henry, Brady, Waller. It's interesting, bro. Najee, Lance, Lamb, Walker, Lawrence. Nice job, Luter. Nice job, Swift, Mixon. Ryan's got Jefferson, Chase, Javonte, Waddle, Hopkins. It's a pretty good team, though, but very, very wide receiver driven. Jeez. McCaffrey, Adams, Samuel, Cousins, Gronk. That's solid. Murray, Eckler, Metcalf, Barkley, and then Kamara, A-Rod, Kittle, Jones. Nice. Okay, let's close this one out. This is it. This is for all the marbles here. This is it. Stretch out. Don't pull a muscle. We've got one last mock draft, one spot remaining. This has been available for like 3 minutes, so no complaining about how you didn't get into the mock. The spot's sitting there. The lonely number 8 spot is waiting for you to grab it. And I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Everybody sitting here wanting to get into a mock all the time. I always want to get into your mock. I keep missing getting in your mock. We've done literally 10 mock drafts, I think. At least 10, right? At least 10? 8 to 10 mock drafts? People say I don't do enough mock drafts for them, that they can jump in. We've done about, I'd say at least 8. Here we go. 10 seconds. Go. All right. Sorry I'm not talking. I'm focusing on some pre-ranks because I don't want to get screwed. If you time out on this, it's no shame. It's just tough. This is going at light speed. 10 seconds is real tough drafting. We got everybody timing out. Just make sure you take yourself off timeout mode there. Okay, so Taylor, Najee, Adams, Jefferson, Mahomes, Drew, you taking Mahomes in a one. Drew thought this was a 2 QB league again or something. Shook, you timing out left and right, bro. This is training.
Take a lap.
But we're still accountable during training.
Take a lap.
10-second timer. This is why we're here. Debo. Javonte fell. 2.7. Woo. Sheesh.
Come on.
It's okay. No shame in timing out. This is tough. This is tough right here. Didn't know where to go. Didn't know what to do. It's okay. Okay. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I don't think I've like rushed myself into a bad pick. The key is pre-drafting, making sure you're not scrambling on the list. You're looking at your queue because you've selected people you like on your queue. You're okay with drafting on your queue, and so that's the key to this fast drafting. It is tough. This is very, very tough though. A lot of pressure. This is where the fantasy drafters are made. The champions are made. Is in crunch time. 10-second timer. Who can do it? Who can draft like a beast under 10 seconds? It's why we're here. It's what we do. Okay. Oh yeah, I got some. This is tough here. So we got Taylor, Hopkins, Herbert, Harris, Waddle, Walker. That's my squad right there. Shook, Shook still, he's on auto. Shook, you're on auto again. I'm just gonna change Shook's name to Auto. Don't do it, Wolf. Yes. Mitchell, I really wanted Mitchell too. I don't know that I would have taken another running back, but I debated between Mitchell and Hall. And Evans, dang it, Looter. Looter, you robbed me. Now I don't know what to do, Looter. Looter! Looter! God, Looter! Oh, you let me do it. Let me switch it out. If you punch it the last like split second, I'll just go A-Rod. Snipage. Looter took me. That's fast, man. That's fast. 10 seconds is rough. Driving the draft is wild. Sesmealy. That was wild. That was a wild draft. I like that. I think we need to do 10 seconds more often. Not all the time, but we need to do 10 seconds more often. We definitely need to. Reviewing these teams real quick, we got JT, Hopkins, Herbert, Mitchell, Evans. That's fantastic, Looter. Good job. Looter, you draft really well. You represent the brand very well. I always love your teams. Harris, Waddle, Walker, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers. I love it. Top 5. I know I'm biased. It's my own team. But I can hate my team too. I'm not always. You can't do 5. Otherwise, I'd try it, Jose. Adams, Brown, Kamara, Jacobs. That's solid. Kamara could either be good value or you lose your league. So we don't know yet. The way the offseason feels, Kamara's going to probably not get the suspension we think. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe 5, 6, 7 games. I don't know. Jefferson, maybe not at all. Maybe Kamara doesn't miss any games. It's tough to say. I think maybe we're letting him fall a little too far, to be honest. Like, we didn't want to take him in the first round, but is he falling too far in the fourth? Maybe. We need to talk about that. We need to have a whole show on Kamara. Are we taking the likelihood of a suspension too seriously for Kamara? So we'll talk about that in a second. Jefferson, Kelsey, Elliott, Lance, Dobbins. I like it. Not sure about Elliott, but I like it. I think you're going to struggle at running back because Elliott could break down and Dobbins is coming back off the ACL surgery. Mahomes is way too high. Maybe you thought it was a super flex. Lamb, Aaron Jones, Barkley, Thomas. Barkley's not bad value there. You know, I'm not one that drafts Barkley, but that right there is good value. Eckler, Javonte, Keenan Allen, Hawkinson, Higgins, solid. Terry's got Kupp, Josh Allen, McLaurin, Montgomery, Etienne, solid. Chase, Debo, Andrews, Burrow, Akers, like it. Hill, Swift, Gibson, Pitts, Watson, solid. Diggs, Chubb, Kittle, Metcalf, Murray, solid. Shook, auto timed out again. Shook, what are you doing? Henry, Mixon, Jackson, Deontay, Goddard. I've been timing out like crazy, so I'm yelling at you like with a smile because you can yell at me back. McCaffrey, Cook, Judy, Waller, Hurts. Very, very good. Very, very good, people. Okay, so Watson. If you missed it, Watson's not being charged criminally, so teams are going to be a knocking. Watson's going to be a traded. Watson's going to be playing football in 2022. Could he still get suspended by the league? Yes. Could he be put on the exempt list? No. Not unless there's future criminal stuff that comes out. Maybe somebody else, whatever. There's that risk. But for right now, there's no criminal charges being brought against him. So Watson's only looking at civil, which is only money. Civil can't put you on the exempt list, but the commissioner could still potentially do some kind of suspension. I don't know. That's kind of like above our pay grade too, because there's some legalities involved in some stuff that you hear two different stories about what the commissioner can actually do versus, you know, the exempt list. So suspension, I don't know. But these are the potential landing spots for Watson. Philly, Minnesota, obviously Cousins would need to be moved. In the case of Philadelphia, they'd probably move Hurts after the fact. I don't think they need to move Hurts first. In the case of what's his face, Kirk Cousins, so forgettable. He's so forgettable. I can't even remember his name. Kirk Cousins has $45 million coming to him. So it's not like in the case of Hurts, you could trade for Watson and then deal with Hurts later, and you could find a suitor for Hurts. But in the case of Kirk Cousins, you might not find a suitor because he's getting $45 million. Okay, so they have to trade. They have to have trades lined up for Kirk Cousins elsewhere, and then Watson. It makes it complicated. A lot of moving parts. You're not going to trade for Watson and just hope you can get rid of Kirk Cousins' contract. Pittsburgh said they don't want in, according to reports. I don't believe those reports. I think Pittsburgh's very much interested, and he's my favorite landing spot. Fantasy football explosion if he goes to Pittsburgh. Najee to the moon. Deontay, Freiermuth, Claypool. Give me a top 4, top 5 overall team in the NFL, locked and loaded if Watson's in Pittsburgh. Tampa would be interesting. Carolina would be interesting. Seattle actually would be interesting. They feel like they're blowing things up. They're definitely going to be a little lesser, but you get Watson, all of a sudden you're not that blown up. You know, so then what do? But did they want to go that route? Because you get rid of your quarterback without an idea of where you're going, and then you blow up a little bit, blow the team up. You're going to maybe go into rebuild mode, and you go back in the direction of getting Watson. I don't know. He's still young. Maybe you could still blow it up, rebuild around him, and try and win now, too. So there's an argument to be made. New Orleans, is Mike Thomas healthy? Will Kamara be suspended? We need to talk more about Kamara. Maybe we talk about him in an evening show. Maybe we talk about him this weekend. Maybe I create a video just on Kamara and post-production, do a premiere, a live premiere release on Kamara, and talk about are we reacting too harshly to Kamara now? Because it was a void season. All off-season now. Stay away from Kamara. Why would you take him? He could be suspended. Maybe he doesn't even play the whole year. We don't know. But now we're seeing him fall too far in our mock drafts. Why is he falling into the 4th round? Are we being a little too critical? I think so. I'm starting to find myself mocking Kamara in the 4th round when I keep seeing him fall to me. Even in the 3rd round, I might be tempted. I appreciate everybody being here. If you're new, hit subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. We've been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes for you. Just trying to give you everything you can handle fantasy football-wise, news-wise, Watson-wise, breaking news-wise. I am your one-stop shop. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, leave a comment once the video is over. I appreciate everybody. I will